All right, hello everyone, Doug here with the LincolnList.com. Let me welcome you to another weekly edition of Stock Market Mutterings for the 20th of January. Guys, I'm loving my day off. I'm loving my day off. When I first started trading, I was all like some of those people that were tweeting, I love my money Mondays. I can't wait till Mondays. I can't wait to trade. I can't wait to work. I love trading so much. Now that I'm older now. No, you know what? I could use 50 days off. It's just a love-hate relationship with me in the stock market. But guys, that's what happens after 2 decades. I mean, what are you supposed to do? We have a love-hate relationship. We've been around together. So I'm enjoying my days off. I like them. I like them. So I want to kind of do as I always do. Take my customary grope in the murkiness here, try to make some sense out of the market, which doesn't really need to be made sense of. It is what it is. It's doing what it's doing. You don't need me to tell you what it's doing. It continues to do the same thing every day since October. It's like Groundhog Day over and over again. But you never know. Let's try to find some of the best opportunities. So I put this up here, the SPY, as I start out with. I mean, what are you going to say? I don't know what's going to come along to create this surprise. Maybe we've got some earnings names coming up here, Netflix, a couple other tech names. Maybe that starts something. But I think we're going to see something else here first that I'm going to talk about and give you kind of a trade that I'm working on right now that I want to share with you. And maybe you can take it in one format or the other. But I'm not expecting any surprises. At some point, this will stop. But pretty much since the trade war thing, when they officially ended this, October, there's just been nothing. You've got a couple of red days, but you've had no surprises at all with this market. So it is what it is until the day that it isn't. And far be it from us to decide, hey, what's it going to be? It'll show up when it needs to show up. When it's ready to sell off, it's ready to sell off. I talked about that in the State of the Market 2020 webinar. At some point, the algos that buy this stuff up here at highs, they'll get tired of it. So here's the trade I want to talk to you guys about. If you have a futures account, this could be an enormously risky trade. And I've been in it for about a week now, so I've got some buffer on this. If not, you can either play this via the SPY or UDOW, an ETF, UDOW. You could try that one. One of the things I talk about in some of my webinars and classes is that every so often an opportunity comes by that you're just not going to get every day of the week. And the market really fuels itself, off of emotion. And what I'm seeing here is, you know, you saw a smaller version of this when, let's say, whole numbers and milestones are just big things for the market, and they're just hard to let go, and people get riled up. Euphoria gets riled up in those areas. So for example, recently Tesla 500, it's like when it got to 460, 470, you just knew it was going to 500. Now, it didn't have anything to do with technical analysis. Didn't have anything to do with fundamental analysis. But when it had run so far so fast, and it's just not going to stop at some obscure number like 470, 480, it's most likely going to go to 500. Apple, the same thing. When it got around the 290s, you're like, it's going to 300. That's the next stop. That's this big emotional milestone. Here's the same thing. This Dow, I can't see, unless something comes out of nowhere here, why this does not do 30,000. I mean, you're sitting here at 29,300. After it has just rallied from 26,000 to 29,300, why would it stop? Why would it stop here? I mean, you can just visually picture the Dow 30K hats. I mean, this is a big milestone, and especially a big milestone during an election year. Do you agree or not? I mean, just be honest here. It's a very big milestone to watch. The question is, how does it do that? I think we're going to see that sometime here very soon. I don't know if it's this week, next month, but I think in Q1 you will see that move. I have a longer term swing on this. As I said, I got a few 100-point buffer right now, but I'm trying to play this to 30,000. I'm just sharing it with you. Maybe, you know, maybe I make some big bucks. If it hits 30,000, I'll make a handsome amount. I mean, it'll be let's see, five-figure plus trade. It'd be a good one. Anyway, just thought I would share that with you guys here. Do as you wish, but I think you're going to see that here very soon. Now, as far as stocks here, I'm just trying to find some things that maybe have a little bit of value to them and trying to follow some of the patterns that we've been seeing here in this market. Now, although it's high, I mean high, PAYC looks like it's got 300 written on it. Now, they got some earnings coming up here. I think this is what day I got, February 4th, excuse me. So this one looks like a pretty good one, just your standard high and tight flag breakout here on the daily. These things have been running. We kind of saw that with Lulu. We saw that with Baba. We're seeing it every day with Apple. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with something besides just buy Apple. Just buy Apple in the morning and sell it at the end of the day. I'm trying to make it sound a little bit more involved in that. Peloton, this is a pretty good looking chart here. You have a nice little structure coming here, an ascending wedge on a short-term basis going back to Christmas. You don't have any resistance left in the chart till you get up to around the 33.50s to the 35s. So you got some pretty good space there. Your earnings are gapped out here. You got a couple of weeks on those. So maybe you start to see a little push on there. There's a little bit of cash value on this one. And there are a few here that's got some nice little pullbacks to them that might be pretty good. Always Lulu is on my radar. So you had a gap and a fade. You're on about a 3-day fade. I think if Lulu can get back down here to around the 235s, I think that's pretty good for a reversal. Just a nice light volume pullback into the moving average like it's done back here and like it's done back here in these spots. I like that one right here. And I think Beyond might be a candidate for something like that. You had that really strong momentum run, and it's been sold off pretty good. 135 down to 108s in this area. So see if this bases for a couple of days and then starts to kind of curl its way back up and kind of make a nice little push. And this is why it pays not to chase stocks in most cases, because this is what they'll do. I mean, even the mighty, like a Tesla or something like that, that's had a run. A lot of this happened after that pullback. So when you were over here, you had the same thing like what looks like Beyond. Lifted up here, pulled back and based. Then it made another run, pulled back and based, and then it really made another run here. So you can see you didn't have to just buy it at all-time highs every single time. Of course, if you did the last couple of months, yeah, you're doing good. So there's a couple of those right there that look pretty decent. And last, let me put Roku on this list. I talk about this one every week, obviously. This thing hasn't quite done what I thought it was going to do, the way I thought it was going to do, and how I thought it was going to do it. It's still hanging around this. This is big time support on this thing. The last time it got there, it bounced, but it's only been able to fight that off and not bounce very much. And considering that the market is just melting to euphoria every day, this thing's having a hard time getting out of its own way. Now it's building some support around this 128, but better supports 125s, 126s. But pay attention. I mean, at some point you're going to see a little bit more sustainable move out of this stock. It really looks bearish, obviously, because each time it's got down here, it's rallied, went to 147, faded, rallied back to 144. So each one of these rallies are shorter in both price and time than the previous rally. So it's just, you know, lower highs all the way through, and you have a descending wedge, and it's just continued to go down consistently since November. I would say that's just bearish, and it's going to break this 126 and dump. That's if you look at technical analysis. But on the flip side, the way this market has changed its behavior and the way it's just turned around and smoked out shorts that chase down at the bottom, I could see it just finally breaking that and then turn around and going on a 10-day run. I mean, you just never know what to expect, but this pivotal area is still in play. It's been messing around with it for a couple of weeks. At some point, something will give and make a clearer direction, so keep Roku on the list. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. As always, if you need help, I want you to reach out to me, support@thelincolnlist.com. You need help as well with your trading. Visit the lincolnlist.com. Click on the Trade Room tab. You can start trading with us right away. As always, thanks for watching this video. Take care, trade well, and I will talk to you guys next week.